Many years ago, there was an emperor so exceedingly fond of the new clothes that he spent all his money on being well dressed. He cared nothing about reviewing his soldiers, going to the theater, or going for a ride in his carriage, except to show off his new clothes. He had a coat for every hour of the day, instead of saying, as one might, about any other ruler, the kings in council. Here they always said, the emperor in his dressing room. In the great city where he lived, life was always gay. Every day many strangers came to town, and among them one day came two swindlers. They let it be known they were weavers, and they said they could weave the most magnificent fabric imaginable. Not only were their colors and patterns uncommonly fine, but clothes made of this cloth has a wonderful way of becoming invisible to anyone who was unfit for his office, or who was unusually stupid. Those would be just for the clothes for me, thought the emperor. If I were them, I would be able to discover which men in my empire are unfit for their posts. And I could tell them the wise men from the fools. Yes, I certainly must get some of the stuff woven for me right away. He paid the two swindlers a large sum of money to start work at once. They set up two looms and pretended to weave, though there was nothing on the looms. All the finest silk and the purest old thread which they demanded went into their traveling bags. While they worked the empty looms far into the night. I'd like to know how those weavers are getting on with the cloth, the emperor thought, but he felt slightly uncomfortable when he remembered that those two who were unfit for the position would not be able to see the fabric. It couldn't have been that he doubted himself, yet he thought he'd rather send someone else to see how things were going. The old town knew about the cloth's peculiar power, and all were impatient to find out how stupid their neighbors were. I'll send my honest old minister to the weavers. The emperor decided he'll be the best one to tell me how the material looks, for he's a sensible man, no one does his duty better. So the honest old minister went to the room where the two swindlers sat working away at their empty looms. Heaven help me! He thought that his eyes flew wide open. I can't see anything at all. But he did not say so. Both the swindlers begged him to be so kind as to come near to approve the excellent pattern, the beautiful colors. They pointed to the empty looms, and the poor old minister stared as hard as he dared. He couldn't see anything because there was nothing to see. Heaven have mercy, he thought. Can it be that I am fool? I had never guessed it, and a soul must know am I unfit to be the minister. It would never do to let on that I can see the cloth. Don't hesitate to tell us what you think of it, said one of the weavers. Oh, it's beautiful. It's enchanting. The old minister peered through his spectacles. Such a pattern. What colors? I'll be sure to tell the emperor how delighted I am with it. We're pleased to hear that, the swindler said. They proceeded to name all the colors to explain the intricate pattern. The old minister paid the closest attention so that he could tell it all to the emperor, and so he did. The swindlers at once asked for more money, more silk, and gold thread to get on with the weaving, but it all went into their pockets. Not a thread went into the looms, though they worked at their weaving as hard as ever. So off went the emperor in the procession under his splendid canopy. Everyone in the streets and the windows said, "Oh, how fine are the emperor's new clothes! Don't they fit him to perfection? And see his long train." Nobody would confess that he couldn't see anything, for what would prove him either unfit for his position or a fool. No costume the Emperor had worn before was ever such a complete success. But he hasn't got anything on. A little child said, "Did you ever hear such innocent prattle?" Said its father. And one person which whispered to another what the child has said. "He hasn't anything on." A child said, "He hasn't anything on." But he hasn't got anything on it. The whole town cried out at last.